Jupiter at night, live on the internet in front of an audience. There's people in the chat room and we read what they type, and it might just save your life. It's the Jupiter at night.
Yeah. Oh my God. What the hell?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Jupiter at Night. My name is Chris.
I'm Alan.
And I'm Jeremy.
Now, this is Thursday, Jupiter at Night's Friday, and so we like to go casual on Thursday. Well, at least so far. And, you know, we've kind of been doing something that we've been enjoying, and that's tying in today's theme with what's coming out in the weekend in the box offices.
Mm-hmm.
And
or major events. We did a Comic-Con preview a couple weeks back. Yeah.
And I like that. And, you know, so it's not necessarily always going to be movies. That's a good point. We should make that clear up front. But whenever we can, we're going to tie in with some event.
Movies are fun and easy.
Yeah, and this one's a good one, right? Because it's the Expendables.
Well, no, I want to say up front, there are two big movies coming out this weekend.
Oh, right.
The other one's Scott Pilgrim, but we decided to save a video game chat for Lotso.
This one, see, the thing about the Expendables is what?
That's a comic book. It's from a comic book.
But it's
made
got
it into a video
time.
game.
Don't get me started.
Oh,
We're
my
not talking
goodness,
about
we're talking
it
about the Expendables. We will save that for another show, gentlemen. You save that. No, you know, this one, what I loved about the marketing of the Expendables is it challenged your manliness. So, of course, that's the one we have to go with.
Right.
So we'll be talking about the Expendables tonight, and we thought...
Hey, look, I'm in the picture. Oh,
nice, dude. Let's talk about these guys, some of our favorite action heroes before they were expendable, like years ago, back in the early days, because they've actually got some really interesting history to them.
There's a lot of people.
There are a lot. There's actually, this movie is packed full of big
I wonder
guys.
how much it cost just for the cast alone, or if a lot of guys did it just like,
hope
hey,
that-
I want to be in this movie because you're in it.
I hope that info comes out, though. I would love to know.
It does have a really big budget, and who knows how much of that is for the stars. But
we should, and Stallone's directing it too, right?
Yeah.
And he co-wrote it.
So he's the big name on this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with Stallone. Stallone's first career, Jeremy?
He was a hairdresser.
Nice.
His parents run a beauty salon in his hometown, and after going to college for a bit, he decided he was done with that, came back home, and worked in his parents' salon.
How awesome
Even
is
went
that?
to beauty school for a little while.
Family business. You gotta
Right.
love it.
Can you just imagine him doing your hair, though? or a nice manicure from Sly?
Alan, can you take a guess as to what his first acting gig was? You have any guesses what the Sly Stallone, the Stallion, the Italian Stallion, what maybe his first acting career was?
Because of that, I'm gonna say porn.
Yep, it was.
It was softcore.
It was softcore porn called Party at Kitty's and Studs.
Yeah.
It was later re-released under the term Italian Stallion to capitalize on the Rocky fame once the Rocky movies came out. But that's pretty funny. I mean, he's undoubtedly one of the powerhouses in the big action heroes in the last, I guess, almost 20 years now.
And
right?
you know what? One of the few guys that's managed to
come
actually
on!
successfully have a return.
I'm about to knock that hat right off his dumb head right now.
I could really care less about Stallone.
Wow.
There.
Wow. Have you
Just hit that.
what? Oh.
Whoops.
Have you seen his movies? Like, I don't know, the best movie ever.
I know he has not seen this one.
Yeah, well, we talked about that before the show, and that's a complete mistake because the best movie ever, no question about it, has got to be Cliffhanger, a great Stallone movie. I first had it on Laserdisc. Well, my parents did. This movie, okay, I'll say it is not a good movie. It's a great action movie, though. But it's a good action movie, and we're talking about action heroes.
You know, I did.
Hey man, I
really-
saw the first like 10 minutes, the intro scene or whatever. That seemed pretty cool.
Right.
But I could care less about the story. Anyways.
All right, okay.
I did like Cliffhanger, but it's not my favorite Stallone movie. I have to say Demolition Man is my favorite.
Yeah, and Demolition Man has got to be
When you're talking about just fun action flicks,
right.
this has got it hands down over
Demolition
Cliffhanger
Man's
in
got
my
to be
book.
like my number 2, right?
Now-
How many times do we quote Demolition Man on our shows?
All the time.
Yeah, talking
Sure.
about
See-
the seashells or all
Okay,
sorts of
I
stuff.
haven't seen this
kinda
for
do
a
that
really
off
long
camera, I
time, but the
Well, whatever.
only thing that I remember, and Justin helped me remember this fact, was you had to pay for the toilet paper.
Yeah.
Right,
No, you
the
could.
seashells
y-
things,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you swore, you got fined.
Yeah.
Right.
And he was frozen. You know, I love this movie, and
Again, I think I know where Alan's coming from, though. Not great movies.
Right.
But really enjoyable, really good
I
action
enjoyed
films.
Demolition Man at the
Every
time,
restaurant
but
was
I have
Taco
not
Bell.
gone back to it.
Cat in the Engine reminds us that every restaurant was
every
Taco Bell. And
That's right.
and that. All right. Okay. So you can hate on Stallone. That's fine. But let's move on. Maybe you like.
We're just going to hate on you in return.
Just a little bit.
Business as usual.
Now, you know the Jason Statham, I think is how you say his last name. He was the guy in the Transporter movies.
Turkish from Snatch.
Exactly. He is in the movie. He's got a pretty good rep for being a badass, and also he's well known for doing all of his own stunts.
Right.
He's actually in pretty good shape, and in fact, I think in Crank he did all his own stunts in the movie Crank.
Yeah,
right?
and all of his own fighting in basically every movie he does, I believe, with a few rare exceptions. You know, the extremely expensive to insure type stuff, like jumping out of buildings, he doesn't do.
Okay, sure.
But just anything where it's going to be close up and like you might see his face, he always wants to do it because he thinks that there's something very visceral about seeing your
That's
own.
cool. I actually didn't
You
know
got to
that.
respect that.
Yeah, no,
Well, in this interview that you're running right now, it didn't have any action in it, so I think that's why Chris didn't put it on the screen. But he was basically saying it also helps him get into character to do his real.
Now that I could
stunts.
buy.
Yeah.
That I could buy. And I think a lot of the guys, well, now this was one of these things that was sort of, I always wonder if it's put out there as hype, but a lot of the guys did a lot of their own stunts, including one stunt that Stallone ended up putting like his hip out of alignment or something.
Nice.
Like if that doesn't make him sound old, I don't know what does.
Yeah,
but
he did. Yeah, I think it was some sort of hip injury. But at another point, he also actually broke his neck on the set.
Whoa. Well, it was a fracture, right?
He has a metal plate in his neck.
Wow.
I don't know if they ended up eventually removing it, but it was Steve Austin. You know, Stone Cold Steve Austin is also in the film, and apparently they were in some fight scene, and he like flipped him over his back and broke Stallone's neck.
I heard about that.
Nice.
That was,
I hope they put that one in.
You know, we should mention too that Jason Statham, before he was an actor, he was a diving champion.
yeah. That was that picture that you showed earlier of him in a Speedo. That wasn't
I don't
just
think
for
I'll show
fun.
that again. No. Now
But that's resulted in a lot of people putting him on the line when they're talking about possible Aquaman or Submariner movies.
And there's a whole other discussion, but would you actually see Aquaman?
Oh, no.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Well, I love underwater stuff.
But he was like a world champion, maybe not world
So if they did a lot of underwater stuff, I might be down with that.
Yeah.
I do. Oh, come on, dude. Anything underwater. Civilization's underwater, please. That's awesome. Do not even kid me.
Another
I
interesting
like it in
fact,
cartoons and stuff.
Another interesting
Anyway,
fact about
sorry.
Jason Statham is he's also already worked opposite Jet Li, who's also in this film.
Yeah.
Jet Li's
In
awesome.
two other pretty major films.
Let's talk about Jet Li. We won't touch on every guy in the film, but we're going to touch on a couple of our favorites, and Jet Li's probably got to be on everyone's list.
Fist of Legend.
Now, Jet Li,
Great movie.
Awesome.
He's the real thing. We've got a clip here that Jeremy dug up of Jet Li when he was, 16 or 17 years old in 1978.
12.
And he was just a master martial artist even back then. I mean,
That clip's not sped up.
no. He's
It's a form of martial arts called wushu, which is not combat, but
Sounds
it's
tasty.
like it's almost more like dancing.
that's what I get instead of a hot and spicy soup, or hot and sour, I mean.
Wushu?
Yeah.
Dude, he is so awesome.
Yeah, he's extremely awesome.
And
And
he's kept in top physical form. He still practices wushu on a regular basis.
I don't know why, you guys, and I have to apologize to Jet Li because I'm sure he does not like this, but when I think of Jet Li, the movie I go to is The One. And I know that's awful because he's done other movies, but The One is...
That was not a terrible movie.
It-
There
I've
are
heard
worse.
good things, but I haven't gotten around to
the
this
ending
one either.
is adorable as far as an action movie goes. That's
If you guys
cool.
haven't seen it, let me give you a really high-level plot summary. There are multiple versions of you in different alternate realities, and if you kill the alternate versions of yourself, you get more powerful.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I heard a rumor that he was not happy with that film.
No, that's probably true.
I thought it was a fun intellectual game, and then the only problem is at the very... I won't spoil the end, but the very end is just... I thought maybe a little funny, a little...
Yeah, that happens a lot, though.
but he's going to be, I think, a main character in the movie. At least it kind of is insinuated from the trailer.
Yeah.
So that should be pretty cool.
He turned down the role of Seraph in Matrix, and the role that Chow Yun-fat ended up playing in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
I had heard
Both
that.
incredible roles. He
About
would've
the
been great in
Matrix.
those.
Yeah. Now, do you know why?
The one from Crouching Tiger was because he had just had a daughter or a son that he wanted to spend more time
Oh,
with.
that's some time.
Well, I thought
So
he was
that makes
quitting
sense.
altogether because of his family.
Yeah.
Well, no, but he was giving up martial art epics. He did one last one. I forget what it was. It might have been
That's just because of his
Legend of the
age.
Fist.
I think it's because of his age.
But he decided he didn't want to do any of more of those. He didn't want to get pigeonholed into him, and he just wanted to take it easy and do like.
What, he wanted to be in a romantic comedy or what?
No,
Probably
I think
wanted
he
to
wanted to do
do-
more like easy action films.
Oh, okay. Well, like the Expendables. Well, I don't know
Yeah.
how easy it was,
Or
but
just do English movies and get more money.
let's before we go on for the night, let's talk a little bit about Mickey Rourke. Oh, no. Mickey Rourke's an interesting character. I think everybody probably just recently saw him in Iron Man. But we found this really cool... I don't know, where'd you find this, Jeremy? Where was this? This was on YouTube?
I don't even remember. I think I actually typed into Google Mickey Rourke's face.
This is his face morphing, if you're watching.
Over the years,
And it's extremely powerful.
Insane.
Now he has... been, and I think during the most, at least till I think the early 90s to the mid 90s, he was a boxer.
Yeah, well, actually, that's how he started. Way back in the 70s, he was a boxer as well.
And then he
got
picked it
into
back up?
acting, and then he quit acting for a while in the 90s and went back to boxing full time, and that's where he got his face messed up. Now, he actually went on record in an interview about 3 or 4 years ago and basically came out and said, I had the wrong guy doing my reconstructive surgery.
What a shame.
Yeah.
He actually was, a handsome guy.
Yeah.
At one point. But as far as an actor goes, it lets him have a very creepy persona in the film. I mean, it can actually have a powerful effect, that look that he has.
I actually want to just kind of sidetrack the conversation. I was extremely disappointed with him in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Because I had just seen The Wrestler 2 months before.
Yeah.
And he was incredible in that.
That's what I heard. I have not seen The Wrestler.
He was even great in Sin City.
He was awesome in Sin City.
And that wasn't a deep role.
No, but
he was awesome.
Yeah.
And then he comes out in Iron Man 2 and he's just this nothing, horrible, boring, two-dimensional villain character. It was crap. Now,
the last guy I'd like to touch on before we move on. Now, there are also a few other guys that we've kind of glossed over, including I even decided, as harsh as it may seem, I decided to gloss over Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Whoa. Who cares?
But we did put some information about him in the show notes if you'd like to check that out over at JupiterBroadcasting.com. So let's talk about Bruce Willis.
Let's talk about Bruce
He's
Willis.
going to be in this movie, and I kind of get the impression he's not going to have a huge role in the movie.
No, the only scene that I've seen of him with it is also the same scene that has Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, actually, where the three of them are basically meeting to get the job.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Stallone accepts the job for his team.
Right.
And the other two probably just bugger off.
Bruce Willis is one of my favorite action heroes, and I'm glad he's still... Well, I mean, I guess he's kind of slowing down, but...
Yeah. Well, actually, no. Die Hard 5 just got confirmed.
Shut up.
No. I'm not even kidding. No,
I always think about him in
Pulp
Pulp Fiction.
Oh, man.
He was great in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Love it.
He got started. We were just showing clips of Moonlighting. That was basically his breakout role, which is like this goofy romantic comedy sort of role. And then Die Hard came along.
Yeah, he came out right after that, right? Like, not right after, but it just totally had not been what people, I think, at the time expected that he would be playing.
This was his first action role.
Yeah.
And
out of nowhere.
he just nailed. I mean, Die Hard, the first Die Hard, I think, is one of the best action films probably ever.
I love all the Die Hards. I know you don't. You guys both don't like number 2, right?
No, I don't. I just think they kept going downhill. I don't even remember if I saw 3 or 4.
Oh, you saw 3, because otherwise I would hate you forever.
I
We
don't
wouldn't.
Do you want
speak
the internet to be even more mad at me?
What? You haven't seen 2 or 3?
Haven't seen any of the Die Hards. The hat is off.
That is ridiculous. Oh my.
I didn't want to punch you.
There it is.
Oh my. Well, okay.
Okay, we're gonna go and watch
Okay.
Cliffhanger and Die Hard after we finish shooting this.
I think we're gonna have to have a Jupiter
Strap
Night
him down and tape his
intervention
eyeballs
and then
open.
follow up with you, because we've got a few movies now on the list that are just absolutely critical that you see.
I don't have time right now.
Well, we will figure it out, dude. We will figure it out. It is important. You make time for things important like this.
Die Hard is important.
Die Hard and
I've always wanted to watch it. It's not like one of those things like, oh, I don't want to watch it, man. It's always like, oh, dude, I'm going to watch it one week and watch all of them at once. It's going to be awesome.
Here, we'll let you finish with your hat.
And
that
that
hat
just
is on
hasn't
loan.
happened.
That hat is on loan.
This hat's always on
You're
loan.
walking
It's
on
your
thin hat right
Yeah, I
there.
know. All right. You're walking on thin hat.
It stays
dude.
here.
All right, so I am hoping to be able to go see this movie this weekend, so I'll try to report back a quick little review Monday.
Yeah.
I see.
I'm really hoping that I can catch both this and Scott Pilgrim.
I hate
But you
seeing
know-
movies in theaters. Are you serious?
I know.
I can't stand
I
it
do prefer
at
to
You
see
all.
them
don't
at
like
home.
people.
But it's the only
all
way to
around
see it.
you, always
I don't like them
talking
laughing at the shit that they say on the
Yeah.
previews.
Or-
I don't like
Yeah.
their kids crying right in front of
Chewing.
me. All the stupid things that all the comedians have been saying for years. I don't like it.
I know. I hear you. But
it's all
if you want to
true.
see it now, that's what you got to do.
Now, I just want to read through this list real
I
quick
just go
because
la,
if you
la,
think
la,
about it,
la,
the guys
la
starring
until
in
it
this
comes out.
movie are we've got a
Alright.
boxer, an award-winning high diver, a world champion martial artist, the most popular pro wrestler ever, a 5-time UFC champion, a karate champion, and a professional NFL player,
And it's probably going to be an awful movie.
and a hairdresser.
And a hairdresser. I think the movie's going to be probably not a good movie, but I'm hoping to have a fun time watching it. That's really my
I'm sure it'll be a
expectation.
good time watching it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all I'm hoping for is that it'll be fun.
I hope we haven't oversold the movie. It's not our intention. We just think it's going to be a fun movie, and we like to play into the spirit of it. I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
I'll try to let you guys know on Monday.
It'll be fun to watch when it comes out on DVD.
What?
He just laid the chips down.
He did. He put a pole in the ground and said, "I'm not going beyond this pole."
No.
And that pole is the theater. I won't not go there.
Why's it got to be a pole?
But if you guys go and invite me, I'll probably go if I have nothing else going on.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll see.
Hey,
Maybe.
Alan, you want to go see a movie?
Maybe.
Oh, okay. All right, everyone. Well, Jupiter at Night is Monday through Thursday. But if you're hanging out Friday and around 9 o'clock and want to watch something live, head over to jupiterbroadcasting.com/live and check out Lotso. It's our video game show, and we've got an epic breakdown of some of the stuff coming out of QuakeCon and a few other stories that have been bubbling up that we're starting to put the pieces together like a big masterpiece puzzle. It's some sort of fantastic, and you're going to watch that tomorrow night.
Speaking of overselling.
I know.
That sounds really exciting.
I know, right?
I'm going to be there, but I didn't know this. It's going to be awesome.
And then, of course, tune back in Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific for the Linux Action Show. It is going to be part 2 of our home Linux server build project.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to hopefully, at the end of the episode, have a downloadable VMware image for you guys if you want to build your own home server from it. So check that out. That'll be Sunday at 10 a.m. Okay, everyone. Well, thanks so much for watching this entire week of Jupiter at Night, and we'll see you back here Monday night, 9 p.m.